Well, first of all, congratulations on this new album. It is incredible. I've been
Oh,
listening to it
thank you
over
so
and over
much.
again since I got it from your publicist. Give me a little background on this. You guys made this during chaotic time in the world, and
Yeah.
it's such a powerful album. How did this process start, and what encouraged you guys to keep on going?
Well, first of all, thank you. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. You know, we obviously no one could foresee what was going to happen in the world and all the events that would soon happen after the pandemic. But I think as a band, we thought it was important to make sure that we continue to finish this because people out there I feel need music in their lives, and there was some dark times during the quarantine lockdown days where people were locked up in their houses and they couldn't go outside, they couldn't do much, and it was kind of a scary time for everyone. So it was important for us to do our best to make sure that we could, finish the album first and foremost, but also, connect with people because at the end of the day, that's, the thing we love the most about being in a band is, connecting with fans and, writing music. So we recorded it with Jay Stolo at Straight Jacket Studios in Fullerton. And we were lucky enough, during the lockdown days, we finished about, I would say 90% of it with him. And our guitar player, Casey, he actually is an engineer himself. So we were able to, record remotely for some of the parts that we just wanted to finish up the album. And so we were able to do that thanks to his, talent and his ability to do so. And so that's kind of how we were able to continue on and keep doing it. And, we decided early on to do a singles campaign, which actually worked out great for us because we were planning to do it that way all along. And, once things shut down and we didn't have shows to play, we couldn't, really do much. We were able to continue to release songs monthly and have something for, people to look forward to. So hopefully that answers your question in a long-winded form, but yeah.
It does. Reading about you guys and researching, you guys say that these songs speak for themselves, and that's why it's a self-titled album. Uh,
Yeah.
what how proud are you about that? Because yeah, these songs, definitely like they can each be singles. They're incredible. How proud of
Thank you.
you about having such powerful and raw music?
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, I'm starting to feel it now just from the words that you're saying, because we just kind of press forward and do what we need to do and what we love to do. And so we don't really, I think we're not in the moment when it comes to that. But I definitely, now that we're, talking about the experience of the album and, discussing the songs and whatnot. I mean, yeah, there is a sense of pride for sure. I mean, that we were able to complete it, that we feel strongly about all these songs, the lyrical content, the, musicianship and everything like that. And so yeah, I mean, definitely proud that we were able to continue to move on. And I mean, it was definitely tough, but we were able to do it. So I mean, that was, yeah, definitely something that we were stoked on.
What was your contribution to this? You're the bassist of the band, I believe, and
Yeah, which oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
usually bassists just like piggyback off of the guitarist or the songwriter. What is your role and how did you contribute to this album?
Well, it's interesting because actually I started as the original drummer of this band. And so I had a lot of a lot to do with the writing of the first album. And I still continue to write, but just in a different way now. We needed a bass player, and I didn't play bass, but I was like, I can learn that. I'll figure that out. I mean, I feel like I can do it. I just have the rhythm aspect. I know the songs, and I would only feel comfortable. I feel like there was a point I had to pitch to the band. I'm like, I know a drummer because they liked my drum style and everything like that. So I was like, I know a drummer that I feel confident will not only fill the shoes, but will even add all kinds of stuff to the sound. And so I guess my role because like you said, bassist, I think I don't really identify as a bassist just because I just picked it up and started playing, just out of necessity. And now I love it. I love, being able to, or just the fact that I don't have to sit down during a show is cool. I can connect and see a little more of like what's actually happening during our set. But I think because I came from being the drummer, obviously I had a lot of direction with the structure of the songs and stuff like that. So for me to move to bass, you know, I was I was still able to be a part of the writing process, and contribute what I can, but I also felt very confident in the drummer that we brought in. And the drummer we brought in was Cody Root, and he, had all kinds of touring history, played in the band Drive A. He's just an amazing drummer. So I felt very confident, that we could bring someone in, that we wouldn't lose any, steam going ahead. And then I could just jump in with bass. And for a long time, I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to make sure I can, do what I can on bass. And then, I got really excited about it and started to do, I feel like I have my own style. I don't know if that's good or bad, but, just kind of picking up and moving forward.
Awesome. Yeah. When I first started listening to this album, it brought me back to my teenage years. Like it gave me a lot of those vibes of the 90s punk scene. What are some of the influences from the band for the band?
Well, I mean, obviously that's great to hear. We grew up in that time period as well. So we do have those influences. We try not to, lean too heavily on them. We, try to have our own sound and whatnot. But we did definitely, I mean, I think growing up early, we were, some of the band was, into, let's say, like 80s hardcore, like Minor Threat, Black Flag, those types of bands. And then there was also like that skate punk movement and even like the street punk stuff that we all like grew up like loving, and so there was a lot of influential bands. I would say like, Descendants was a crucial one because they kind of proved that you can write very melodic songs, but also still, have it be, I guess, for lack of a better word, a punk song. And something, that's, I feel like in punk rock in general, a lot of the meat of the song is the actual like message, and also the energy behind it. It just gets people going. It's either an anthem or it's something that makes people want to move. And so I think, like you said, I think, early 90s punk, or even, into the early 2000s, when you get bands like the Bronx and Gallows and stuff like that. I mean, those were also influential, just going to those shows and just seeing how crazy it would get, and the energy behind it. And I think that's like the thing we love the most, is that in this album in particular, I feel like Jay Stolo, who recorded it, was, very hands-on, and he really, I mean, took all the time out of his days to make sure that he felt that very confident in the sound of the songs, the tones, and everything like that. And then we also wanted to capture like our live essence in the music, because I think that's the thing, when it comes to Raptors, is our live performance is something that I like, will stand behind, and I feel like very proud in that aspect. And it's very important for us that not only can we put out songs that sound good, but also play live. You don't want people to come out and be super disappointed.
Yeah, this album is very high energy. So you guys are returning to live shows. How thrilled are you to have an audience and see their energy and feed off of that energy?
Oh man, it's amazing. I mean, we did what we could during the lockdown times. We tried to do some, live stream stuff. We did a holiday special. We did some acoustic stuff and just kind of try to connect with fans more intimately. And then, now returning to the live setting, it's so amazing. Like the first show back, we played at Commissary Lounge in Costa Mesa, and shout out to Ephraim. He's an amazing person. He got us that show, and it was almost surreal, just because there was a point where we weren't even sure, is this ever going to happen again, you know? And now looking back, it's like I'm very glad that obviously now we are doing it. But there were some days where we didn't know, and it was kind of scary, you know, like how long is this going to last? Will we survive as a band? And luckily, you know, we have great people in this band that are very passionate and never stopped. You know, we just kept going. Um, and so the first show back, I mean, just the first note, and you know, right off the bat, I mean, it was just a lot of energy, and it was emotional. Like I for I guess like, you know, we've played a couple bigger shows where I was you know, just kind of in awe that we had, you know, such a, you know, like just, you know, being in that setting was just so, it was crazy. But then just to be back for a first show, even though it wasn't this huge show, it was just it was very like, it was just such a positive, like a wave of positive energy, and we just felt so good to be doing it again.
That is
I think
awesome.
like
Well,
everyone couldn't stop smiling, you know.
of course, I know, like, getting back into the hang of things, like it's cathartic and so relieving to just be out there again. Um,
Yeah,
Congratulations once again on this album. It is incredible.
yeah.
I'm for sure gonna keep on listening to it over and over again,
I
and I hope
appreciate
to
it.
see you guys live soon.
Thank you. Yeah, our next show is at Punk in the Park, at Oak Canyon Park. That's with Pennywise, the Vandals, Fear, TSOL. So it's going to be an amazing show. We really look forward to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you as well. Thank you so much.